Hello there people, what's going on? My name is Bigman and this here is episode number 11 of the Battlefield Top Plays. You guys absolutely killed it last week with the likes. So as promised, albeit a day late to make sure it was good enough, here is this week's episode of the Top Plays. Alright, so kicking off this week's top plays, we've got Pavel Bond playing some Bad Company 2 on White Pass Rush defending using the SV98. And it's already all kicking off around this first MCOM station base. This guy comes charging in like a fucking madman with his sniper rifle and gets stabbed right in the face promptly. And enemy team are just sort of stacking up behind this wall, so it's time to get some C4 chucked over there, stab another guy in the back, but of course Bad Company 2 knife makes absolutely no sense, so it takes 2 stabs before that guy eventually falls. And it's time to turn our attention back towards the front of this first base once again. This is a good map for Rush. This first base here is an absolute bastard if you're attacking it, and it makes for some intense gameplay. A lot of the Rush maps in later Battlefield games just aren't as intense or just all out crazy shit as this one particular Rush map. It was really hard, but once you got past this first base here, the attacking team usually takes the win. But it made for some interesting gameplay on this first base just here. But in the meantime of me just explaining that, he's murdered about 5 or 6 people. He's picked up an MG36, but eventually goes back to his SV98 once again. And well, they're just charging in from every single angle at the moment. We've got one of the MCOM stations armed, and there's a bit of a chaotic battle scene going on, but it seems like his team do have it under control. They're starting to stack up outside this big main first warehouse, and he's just putting them down one at a time using the sniper rifle as well as his M1911 pistol as a backup, which again in this game was an absolute tank. That pistol just chewed through people. Once again they're starting up another assault, and very nice move there, and he gets a very lucky, I want to say lucky, no scope headshot, because no scopes, you don't know where that bullet's gonna go. But in the course of about 2 minutes or so defending his MCOM station, this guy just absolutely wipes the floor with absolutely everyone that comes charging towards him. Very nice play, good sir, taking down one last person. We're gonna move on. Now I'm going to absolutely butcher this name just here, so we've got Benutzer Bischoff. And this play here isn't in here for absolute pure skill. It's in here because I want to show you this complete clusterfuck of a house situation that goes on here. Now already upon just approaching this first building here, he's already killed 5 people using the KSG-12 pump action shotgun. And they keep on pouring in. And they don't know what they're doing. They have absolutely no idea what's going on. They're charging into this building. I think it's near their spawn, so everyone is flooding into this one zone, and the guy just mops up absolutely everyone using this shotgun, which is probably really good in this game, but I know in real life this thing is apparently a total piece of shit. Apparently it just jams like fuck, but an interesting little play. Alright, so our next play today comes from Twan. He's playing some Caspian Border Conquest on Battlefield 4, and he's just flying around in a jet, looking down through the JDAM scope or whatever it is here. He spots a guy. I don't know what the backstory to what's going on is, right? I don't know if he just had some sort of personal vendetta, and I don't know if quite a few of you have probably worked out already what's gonna happen just here. He started taking some damage, but he doesn't give a shit about what's going on in the sky. He's all fixated on this one particular prick. And he needs to take this prick's head off with the SRR-61 sniper rifle from about 1,000 feet up in the sky, because that's the normal thing that you do. Just speeding forward a little bit, of course. He does retrieve his jet, so no jets were wasted in this stunt. I don't know how some of you guys like seeing cool shit like that, so there you are. Fucking insane shot. Let's move on. Now our next clip today comes from Dancing with Kiwis, and he is playing on some Rogue Transmission Rush attacking, and he's also going to be using the SRR-61 sniper rifle. And just taking position upon this little mound just here, he pops 4 people's skulls like they're nothing right there. I always do like seeing these really nice streaks of accuracy with sniper rifles and just popping people's skulls left and right. Some people just make it look easy. This guy's one of those people, I guess. So far he's shot 6 times and killed 5 people, and then he just wipes this guy out using the G18. Running in there, he was going to arm the MCOM station, so we'll give him points for attacking play and playing the objective. He was going to run in there and arm it personally, but one of his teammates got in there before him, so he decides he's going to take up position in this little shack down on the right hand side and try and hold off the enemy team that were approaching from this one side of the map. And he must have not been paying attention to his map down on the bottom left, because someone does manage to sneak up on him, and he completely and utterly fails and just gets gunned down using the G18 once again. Upon seeing someone on his map trying to disarm his MCOM station, he runs up there, saves that shit with the G18, it goes off. Very nice play, good sir, getting yourself a nice collection of kills and playing the objective. Next up today here, we've got Vitney Taff, is how I want to say your name if that's how you want to fucking spell it, I don't know. But he's playing some Battlefield 3 using the M98B sniper rifle on Nosher Canals, and already he's gotten himself 3 headshots in a row. And I'm pretty sure actually in this clip here he doesn't miss a single shot. One guy pokes his head out there on the right hand side, instantly his head gets taken off. Didn't really have much of a chance. So that's 4 shots, 4 kills so far. Turning around, he takes one more shot, and let's make that 5 shots 8 kills. Yes, he just got a quad. A quad. Yeah. Next up today here we've got Gerator, and he is playing on I don't know what map, using a nail gun that I didn't know was a thing on Battlefield Hardline, playing a game mode that I also don't know. It has been a fucking while since I've played Battlefield Hardline, but he's already gotten himself 3 kills and picked up 3 bounties, because that, you know, that means something. Basically, this game mode is kill confirmed. I don't know what the fuck they actually call it, but he gets himself another kill there using the nail gun, picks up the coin or bounty or whatever the fuck, and it takes down another guy on the balcony. And now is when he just starts slaughtering everyone. When he picks up this MPX, he already takes down the first guy there, and he's just gonna go storming through all these buildings. The enemy team, I don't really know exactly where they are. I don't even know what this map is actually. Like, I haven't played Battlefield Hardline for about 6 months at least. But this looks kind of fun. It does. Battlefield Hardline isn't a bad game. It's a fun game. It's just not as good as Battlefield 4. That's just why I've been playing that instead. But he's just going to be continuing the kill streak using the MPX, jumping down a few flights of stairs and collecting some more bounties. And as he approaches up in this room just here, he's already taken out about 12 or 13 people in the matter of about a minute. Nice clip. Next clip up today here comes from iShadow93. Ejecting from his aircraft, he flies through the air, gets a hit marker unfortunately on that guy parachuting down, and then with his second attempt, he somehow hits him again. Call it luck, skill, whatever the fuck you want. I just thought it was fucking awesome, and you guys ought to see it. Pretty damn ridiculous thing to happen. Let's move on. Next up today here, we've got Madara 2, and he's playing an Operation Locker using the 44 Magnum and the AEK971. It's pretty much inevitable every single week. You're going to get at least one Operation Locker clip, just due to the volume of clips that are in the email. But he's already killed a couple of guys going through the jail cells. This third guy just walked right past them into the jail cell and ends up taking a face full of bullets. And he just clips a guy as he comes running around the corner, chucking a grenade up after him. I'm not sure if he kills that guy or just some unfortunate bastard who came down the stairs and took the brunt of the grenade. But he takes down another 2 people with the AEK971, and then eventually fixing his accuracy and getting 2 kills, potentially collateral in that corner, and then takes down another guy with the 44 Magnum. It was just going to take a couple of seconds to collect his thoughts, reload his guns, and then he's going to get straight back in there, running right down through the tunnel. He's going to back off a little bit, then storm through. I thought he was going to go through the first time, but not quite. But he takes the guy down using the AEK971, and then he's first through that next little gate, taking down another 2 people, taking it up to 4 just in like 5 seconds or so, and he's not done yet. He's going to go moving up on the left hand side. There's a bunch of enemies stacked up on these stairs, as there always is, taking down another 3, make that 4. He has a very, very nice collection of kills throughout this clip. Nice stuff, good sir. Next up today here, we've got PotencY playing some Nansha Strike Carrier Assault, and I just looked up just there 2 seconds ago to see if anyone is even still playing Carrier Assault, and there's absolutely no servers open just now. What the fuck? I knew it was kind of dead, but apparently it's completely dead. But our player today, PotencY, is going to be flying around in a Little Bird playing some Carrier Assault, and already got himself 2 kills as he approached the main island, and most of this clip is just going to be feeding off of the players of the enemy team trying their best to get onto the island and try and take some of the points dotted around the map. This just reminds me a lot of back when I used to play a lot of Battlefield 1943, flying around the planes around the whole map. You would just hunt down anyone who tried to make it across that big stretch of ocean towards the map. in boats, and you just go after them, hunt them down, and destroy everything that came anywhere near the island. And that's pretty much exactly what he's going to be doing throughout this clip. The enemy team are struggling, and he is really keeping them at bay. And in the process, of course, taking down enemy aircraft in the form of their little bird. Turning his attention back to the ground, he spots a couple of enemy players trying to take the flag, and proceeds to wipe them off the face of the earth. Before he then realizes eventually, once he does eventually, spin around and make sure there's no one else around trying to take his flag, he's going to move off towards the one flag that the enemy team are targeting, and he's gonna go and try and do the same thing over here. But at first he does notice that there's some more enemy players trying to approach the main island once again. You just want to keep them off there. You know, if they're not on the island, they can't do any damage and they can't make a comeback to try and win the game. And they're just sitting ducks. If you get on them with a little bird, they have pretty much no chance. He wipes out that rib boat, and then he's going to once again turn his attention back towards the island that he was approaching. Hovercraft comes floating in and gets destroyed once again. And well, now the enemy team are starting to build up a bit of a force around this flag and starting to take the flag, so it's time to do something about that. Once again takes down another enemy hovercraft, I think it was, and then he flies down and gets himself 2,500 points in one single streak by just completely demolishing the enemy team gathered up around this one point. It's a nice little clip of him kicking the enemy when they're down and just stopping them from making any form of comeback. Our 10th and final clip this week comes from OnGrid, and he's playing North Shore Canal's TDM using the M416 assault rifle. And just watching this clip back just makes me want to go and download Battlefield 3 again and just hop on and get a few rounds of North Shore Canal's TDM in, because this one game mode is so addictive just on its own. I used to just play North Shore Canal's TDM on its own for hours on end. It's just a great little time waster, and you can just get some really quick and intense games in, and you don't need to rely on your team too much. A lot of Battlefield 3 and 4 and any Battlefield game really is too reliant on your teammates, and if they play like shit, you usually play like shit. If you play some North Shore Canal's TDM, you can just run around on your own and cause absolute havoc. And that's pretty much what OnGrid's going to be doing throughout this clip, and just taking position in between these two containers is able to shoot those guys who are just camping inside that one container that everyone camps in. That's pretty much a death sentence if you go in there. Just never go in there, it's a bad idea. Taking down another couple of players from inside this container, he's able to swing himself around and make sure no one gets an angle to shoot him from their spawn up on the railway tracks, and just as they come down one at a time, he's just going to take them out before he eventually goes for the jugular on his own and try and jump in and see if he can do some more damage a bit closer to home for the enemy spawn. Coming in behind this container, again he finds a couple of guys stacked up, as they always seem to do when playing North Shore Canal's TDM, and if you find these little bubbles of enemies, you can just wipe out 3 and 4 and 5 people at a time if you're switched on and know exactly where they're all coming from. It's a very nice streak, and he just demolishes the enemy team very close to their own spawn, where there are large numbers of them, pretty much all on his own. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this week's episode of The Top Plays. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button down below to help support the show. You guys really came through last week, and I'm hoping you guys can do the same once again this week. But until next time, I've been Big Moon, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
I spotted a hostile vehicle. Move, under the vehicle. I spotted a hostile vehicle.